Hi all, welcome and welcome back to my channel. Today I want to share with you some interesting information I found while studying the case of Joseph James DeAngelo, known as the Golden State Killer. Joseph DeAngelo is a 74-year-old former police officer who's accused of being the prolific serial killer responsible for terrorizing communities across California in the 1970s and 80s. He evaded capture for over 40 years before he was arrested on April 24th of 2018 after his DNA matched the DNA from victim Charlene Smith, a Ventura County resident who was murdered and raped. Why am I bringing this to you now? Well, because Joseph DeAngelo, who has been charged with 13 counts of murder and 13 counts of sexual assault, had his pretrial hearing on March 5th of 2020. During his hearing, DeAngelo offered to cooperate and plead guilty to the charges against him in exchange for the prosecution taking the death penalty off the table. He's asking for a life sentence in return for his cooperation. DeAngelo has been held in a prison in a Sacramento suburb since his arrest. A year after his arrest, prosecutors declared that they would seek the death penalty in this case because they believe the Golden State Killer, who is also known as the East Area Rapist and the original Night Stalker, was responsible for 13 murders, 120 burglaries, and 45 sexual assaults, many of which he can no longer be prosecuted for due to the statutes of limitations on those cases. They say they believe he committed one of the longest and most vicious crime sprees in U.S. history. Now, this is where it gets interesting. According to the Los Angeles Times, DeAngelo's attorneys sent letters to the victims' families detailing their client's willingness to take a plea, therefore avoiding a costly, painful trial. They also filed a motion stating, "This particular case is exceedingly complex due to the number of charged crimes and the diverse locations of the charged crimes. We would like to reach a resolution of the case that avoids a trial, satisfies all parties, and provides a more immediate resolution of the case." Sounds like they're proposing the idea that everyone just get along and play nice together so they can end this for their aging client so he can return to his prison life to which he has become accustomed and live his final days out in peace. Nice. Now enter the prosecution. According to the article, the Sacramento County District Attorney's Office was unavailable for comment on this motion, but the office did issue a statement in the New York Times noting, "Nothing has changed since their April 2019 announcement that the death penalty would be sought." Doesn't sound like they're going to play nice. Subsequent to making this statement, the prosecution moved the case forward again by requesting 5 more swabs of DeAngelo's DNA to compare with genetic material recovered from crime scenes in the counties of Ventura, Orange, and Santa Barbara. Yeah, they're really not going to play nice. Of course, the defense objected to the request for more DNA and renewed their interest in pursuing a resolution to the case that avoids trial. At which time they were informed that due to the voluminous amount of evidence that would be presented, as well as the counties in the state that were affected by his crime spree, prosecutors from 5 additional counties will be joining the prosecution team to jointly present their cases. Damn, they really aren't playing. So, needless to say, and I certainly don't mind telling you, the defense didn't like that one bit, not one. To which the prosecution responded, "We need the additional DNA because it is our burden to prove this case beyond a reasonable doubt." The judge granted the request for the additional DNA at a hearing held on March 12th. The defense went on to complain that an array of prosecutors from 5 other counties have no jurisdiction in Sacramento. They say the decision for 6 counties to jointly try DeAngelo in a Sacramento courtroom threatens their client's right to a fair trial. Odd. They didn't mention the victims' rights to their lives, though. So the defense has all been out of shape about this. They're complaining that they're outnumbered by the prosecution now, and that they will be completely overwhelmed by the information coming from the prosecuting attorneys in 6 different counties. They say that they will be completely overwhelmed and that it is just too much for the public defender's office to handle. Blah, blah, blah. Really? That thought never crossed your minds when you were assigned the case of the Golden State Killer? This case is massive. I guess they figured it would be just another day at the office. Okay, so the defense gets bitch slapped into reality by the prosecution and now understands that they may have to fight like hell for their client, which I might add, you always want a defense attorney to do. Hear me out. I'm with you. When I think someone's guilty, I want them convicted. But you don't want them convicted due to a weak defense because then they can appeal. They can claim that they don't feel that they were adequately represented and a judge can grant them an appeal. You don't want that. As much as it may go against every fiber in your being, you always want to see a defense attorney fight like hell for their client. Then there will be no grounds for an appeal. I know it's awful to watch at times, but it's necessary, whether we like it or not. Okay, so now that everybody hates me, I'm going to jump to the best part of all of this so you can love me again. Stay with me. All right, so the defense feels overwhelmed, ganged up on, and bullied. They're angry that they're not getting their way and the prosecution won't play nice. They say they're confused by all the jurisdictions involved in the case and don't even know who to address as the lead prosecutor. So they decide to cut right through the red tape and go straight to the judge to find out which prosecutor will be deciding whether or not the death penalty is taken off the table. The judge says that the decision has yet to be made and that they will be advised. Then they ask the question that gave me goosebumps and will again right now when I read it. They ask, if defense counsel convinces the Sacramento district attorney that Mr. DeAngelo's age, the governor's moratorium on the death penalty, and the cost to Sacramento taxpayers for this exorbitant prosecution compel a decision to resolve the case for life imprisonment, can one of the other jurisdictions withdraw and continue their own prosecution seeking death? Damn. Can one of the other jurisdictions withdraw and continue their own prosecution seeking death? Man, this is good. So the defense is concerned that the prosecution can either act as one unit or split apart into separate units to keep trying their client until they get their desired result. Think about it. His crimes in each jurisdiction were different, so each jurisdiction could try him for the crimes committed in their district without ever trying him for the same crime twice. And there are 6 jurisdictions involved. 6 chances to get a death penalty conviction if that's what they opt to do. Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. It's like an intricately psychological game of chess, don't you think? It's like he's a pawn and he's surrounded, and his lawyers are trying to find a way out, but no matter where he moves, they keep surrounding him. And even if his lawyers find a way out for him, each surrounding piece is strategically placed to slam him into checkmate. Wow. I can't wait to see how this one plays out. If I get any updates on this case, you'll know, and I'll be back to share them with you. Thank you so much for watching and putting up with my true crime addiction. I know I need a hobby, and I'm working on getting one very soon. Take care, and I'll see you on my next video.